Alright guys, figured I'd make a new movie, seeing how the last one was all dark. But started her up, moved her out of the garage. You can see how tiny that garage is. That's about it. Not very well lit, but hey, keep stuff out of the snow. Anyways, here we go. Better pictures. Not all dark. So what? 90-degree, bent over, folded taillight cover over. Still gotta notch it, like I said before. Yes, that is in front. This is what I've been starting on. Starting to crease it. Got 2 lines here. This one's gonna come up and connect into this top one. I'm gonna run the top one all the way down to the door, fold the door over, and then I'll pick it back up here and follow it all the way down the fenders. Put the radiator back in it because I don't plan on doing anything to the nose just yet, but when I do, it'll pop back out. I filled it up with antifreeze for the winter. My shiny air cleaner that I had to custom make, or custom fit it on there. Picked up a little breather from the junkyard. Surprisingly, it's an old radiator cap, Ford. That's a Chevy cap. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. But these donuts are going to stay on the front of it for more clearance. Plus, they're tiny, very thin, so it'll be as easy to move around. They go flat or they get bent over. I don't know if I ever showed you guys the frame on this, but it's pretty solid. I didn't paint this. The guy that had it before me painted it. It was going to be turned into a race car. But as you can see, there isn't much as far as rust goes on this thing. Because but I'm sure you see in the first video, if you've been following this, about the floor pans. I'm not sure, should I keep the purple rear end in it or should I paint it green? I might even go over it with purple. It's just got a little craft paint on it. It's basically a primer right now for the time being. I did pull these off of a Mustang. They were chrome. Unfortunately, I could only get 2 off because the other 2 on the back of the Mustang were the lug nuts were so exploded you couldn't fit anything onto them. So I only got 2. I was gonna run 4 and 4 nice shiny chrome rims on there. Again, underneath the back here. But I am running no bumper on the back. But there's the floor pan. As you can tell, it's pretty solid all the way through. And up in the humps there. You can get one of this one. But yeah, she's pretty damn solid. Still got the original undercoating on it too, in some spots. But 7.5 rear end. I'm told the axles are a little thinner than the 8.8s, but they'll do. Not a lot of people have ran them. They've always switched them out to an 8.8 or an 8-inch. And from what I'm told, is people that have run them, they haven't really ran into any problems with them as far as breaking axles and that. So we'll give it a shot. They don't make mini spools for this. They only make a connecting rod. So I am going to weld the spiders for it. Give it posi traction. I did find out that The reason why my car was started turning over so damn hard was because the coil was going in it. So, on my voyage to the junkyard today, I had to go grab a radiator for my truck. I stumbled upon a nice, almost brand new solenoid out of a Mercury Topaz. I needed a 3-prong, everything else was a 4-prong. So, let me hook these up. And it turns over a hell of a lot easier. Tank in it like I said last time, but I idle up a little bit because it's got an automatic idle adjuster on it. It feeds back to the computer, tells the computer what RPMs to run at, when to kick down. Thanks to Lenny, Jugulator, and WeCrash there, he told me how to set it so I can adjust it how I want it. That would be if any of you have a 3.8 or plan on running a 3.8 or stumble across a car with a 3.8 in it. This little plug right here runs into this. Your computer will push this rod, or when you when you step on the gas, this rod will push, your pedal right here will push this rod down in here, sending a message to the computer that, you know, you want more gas. So the rod, like I said, will compact into here, and then after you let off the gas, the rod is supposed to slowly push out. Mine, however, is not getting enough vacuum in it to push the rod back out, so it would stick at that RPM for like a minute, and then it would still slowly start kicking it back out and returning it back. Now, Jugulator Lenny, he told me about this, and I explained the problem to him, and he told me to take this connector, which is the connector that runs to it, set the engine at the idle how you want it, and then just simply unplug it, and the computer automatically keeps that setting in there while the car is running. It'll keep that setting, keep it at that idle until you manually go back, plug it in, and change it. But yeah, I did, however, get all my wires. I will stuff these back up in here when time comes for it, because I gotta make room for my headers. But these are all going into the white Raquel. I had to borrow my grinder with a cutting wheel from work and cut a hole so I can run these all in there. These will all get zip tied up out of the way so my header can come up through here, which should be more than enough room. My coil sitting right in here. I drilled holes and self-tapped it to the firewall. So instead of it being up here on the front of the strut tower, it's now moved. My coil used to be right here. That's all moved inside. But yeah, I still gotta figure out how to, if I want to hotwire the fuel tank in. If not, I'll just run the stock wires. I do plan on cutting out the fuel pump in this and then welding it onto a boat tank. Like I said, I will be getting a Mike's Derby Shop AOD Ford tranny shifter in the spring. DEC 3-in-1s with 5-inch collectors. And battery, I'm going to make a battery box for it, probably out of wood. I might order a metal one, depending on how much they're going to run, or I might make one. Well, my plan is to save this strictly for the future because we can bring in fresh cars for the future. But that's what I'm hoping for. Now I'll clean all these up and run them up through the little tabs there with the dash hung off. Get those all so they're not dangling, and get them all wrapped up and weatherproofed. Pretty soon, the back window I know will be coming off before the front window. So I have my whole list of things to do on it. But as you can tell, the front frame rails on this are pretty clean. This has a little surface rust on this one, all the way back to strut tower. Which, see this gap right here? This is what you gotta fill on a Fox body, so it doesn't, it'll nose up real quick, or it'll shift from side to side because you're missing almost a ½ inch gap there of metal. So the only thing that's supporting it is these two little frame rails on the inside and the outside. So you fill that up, weld, or you put a plate right there, just a little plate, weld it in, and that'll take care of your spaghetti. Well, some of it. Also helps to shorten the frame rail. Also, there's another gap back here. There isn't one on the back side of this, but I still got to do some cleaning up on this before I can get my buddy's welder up here. I plan on doing my welding work this weekend, or not this weekend, next weekend, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen that way. But yeah, there's my update. Said Ford 3.8. One nasty little car. Funny thing is, I got a guy threatening me with a Chevette. And I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want to be running my mouth with a Chevette and have a Thunderbird this big with tractor lugs on the back of it, powered by a V6, coming after me. Yes, this is getting my tractor lugs. But yeah, there's my update. It's a better one than it was before because you can actually see what the hell I've done now instead of it being all dark. But okay. Just wear it, guys. See you later.